Tonight is day 180, 180. So I'm considering it 6 months. I'm going to consider this the halfway point in the Keep Going series. I did a video many weeks ago, early on in this series. I was talking about how it was important for us to take inventory of the 6 month patterns in our life, because all too often, unfortunately, there are people that will live the same 6 month pattern 100 times in a row, and they blink, and then unfortunately 50 years goes by, and they get sad at the fact that maybe they weren't able to change, especially with the things that they knew they needed to address in their life, but they ended up just throwing those things to the wayside. And I'm not condemning anyone. I don't have anyone specific in my mind that I'm thinking about. But when I think about, I always say seasons of life. For whatever reason, I kind of break those down or chalk those up to 6 month patterns. I think when you think about years of your life, years are a pretty long increment, and things can adjust and change and fluctuate over the course of an entire year. But a 6 month season, when I try to set a goal, sometimes it's a little bit more manageable to think of your life and think of how you're trying to optimize or how you're trying to do things. It's sometimes a little bit better to break those down in 6 month increments. So I say all that to say, as a callback to my video many weeks ago about trying not to live those same 6 month patterns over and over and over again when there's things you need to change. In my mind, I'm kind of at a mental checkpoint here that said we were going to sit out and do these videos, and we've stuck to it every day, haven't missed a day. And not in a fashion that's checking the box, but in a fashion that is I get to do these videos, and I'm thankful for them. Having said that, I'm going to read from Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 through 3 today. Starting in verse 1, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that is so easily entangled, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith. For the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinners, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart." Just the perseverance of faith there, in the model in which we have of Jesus, that faced such strong opposition, but he did not grow weary. He finished his mission into completion. And that's just what I'm resting in today for inspiration, is to just try to model that from Jesus, and knowing that, hey, these 6 months haven't gone perfect. When I reflect on these 6 months of doing these videos, outside of just the 5 to 10 minutes I do these videos, there's 23 plus hours of the rest of my day, and many of those hours I haven't been perfect. I'm human, and I absolutely fall short. There's things I'm still actively trying to work on in my life. I can talk all day about going to the gym and getting strong and trying to optimize mind, body, spirit. I'm still far from perfect. But I'm inspired by just having the opportunity every day to take one step in front of the other, to be a little bit more like Jesus, and to just try to hold myself accountable to be the best leader I can be for the people around me, whether that's my family, my church, my coworkers. Trying to be a good example. So today I'm just kind of dedicating this video to the fact that, hey, this is a checkpoint. We're 180 days in. We're halfway there, maybe for this series, but we've got a long journey hopefully ahead in this life to continue to be more like Jesus. We are going to fail at times. There's going to be pitfalls along the way, but are we going to be perseverant, as it says in this scripture, Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 through 3, that we're going to fix our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. For the joy set before him, he endured on the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. It says, consider him who endured such opposition from sinners so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. Like, take him as an example and inspiration so we don't lose heart and grow weary in our life. And it's been a long 180 days at times. In some ways it feels like it's flown by, but in some ways, some of those days have been harder than others, with different sicknesses and different challenges at work and different stresses that come up week to week and month to month. But even in the dark days or the challenging days, can we still take something from the scripture here, where Jesus faced everything we faced and more, much more, yet still paved a way and didn't grow weary and didn't lose heart. So again, just in closing, I'm thinking about this 6-month period that we've completed thus far, and I'm excited about the rhythms and the habits that we've been able to establish with going to the gym, reading our Bible. Many of these things have happened well beyond 6 months, but for the sake of these videos, just to communicate it and have that extra bit of accountability every single day for the last 6 months, doing these check-ins. I still have a long way to go, but I hope and pray that maybe more than just me, but a couple others can be just inspired by the daily inputs and what can be truly achieved in your life if you just put one step in front of the other. I don't think that you're going to have, some golden ticket breakthrough workout, every single day. I don't think you're going to be able to read the entire Bible in a 24-hour period. Like, I think that's the thing, and that's the thing that people need to hear, because these movies can kind of glorify all these chips falling in someone's favor, or someone that's really able to do all these extraordinary things, and that's awesome to dream about, whatever the situation is, to make all this progress. But what my experience is the reality of life is, like, instead of taking one step forward and 2 steps back, life's still going to try to beat you down, but how do you take 2 steps forward, and then you might get knocked back a step, and then still take 2 steps forward the next time? So you're making progression of trying to be like Jesus, trying to take care of your body, trying to eat well, trying to be a leader for others, trying to learn about the Word. Like, it's just the pursuit of being the best thing in which God created you to be, to follow His calling and His will over your own, even if it's inconvenient, or even if it makes you fearful, like whatever it is you're stepping into in your life. I just hope that these daily inputs, I'm not doing anything extraordinary at all. It's just a constant pursuit. It's being tenacious, just trying to inspire people to say, like, hey, you can say whatever you want about that person, but and try to beat them down. But at the end of the day, they're just taking one step forward. That's someone that's going to show up. That's someone that's going to be consistent. That's someone that's going to keep pushing. Like, that's what I strive to do. And if anyone else is inspired by that and can take a step in their life similarly, I hope it's helpful. And it's nice to reflect at times on a time like this, where you've hit a milestone of 6 months. We're halfway there. And we're going to use that celebration today to continue, not to grow just comfortable and not to get fat and happy, but as additional fuel to say, okay, we've hit this milestone. Let's have joy. Let's thank God. Let's know that it's because of Him we're even able to do this. And then let's be excited about the back half of this series, because at the end of the day, we're going to keep going. That's day 180.